If you could delete anything from the world, what would it be? Human trafficking. The third law of thermodynamics, or the law that matter cannot travel faster than light. I'm playing the long game. Tinnitus. That damn loud beeping. Luckily mine isn't all the time and usually easy to ignore. Child abuse of any kind. Kids deserve to grow up happy and healthy in an environment around people that nurture and love them. Shitty abusive people. Diabetes. I would give anything just to delete my trashy past and restart over. My next door neighbor. He's a cunt. Mosquitoes. Corruption. The most commonly used word in each language. Watch the chaos. Cancer. Mental illness. Too many lives affected by good intentions coming to support someone, but it turns out to be an abusive power dynamic. Too many lives lost to a very worrying level of apathy. Imagine the life that so many people could have and be happy in, but their natural brain chemicals are just like nat. Sucks. Poverty. War. Non-picky eaters, what's one food you absolutely can't get behind? Fermented shark from Iceland. Lutefisk. It is a terrible idea someone had here in Norway some centuries ago. You take a perfectly edible cod and dry it. So far, so good, you can still rescue the fish by making bacalao. Then, you follow up by soaking the fish, the very fish you just dried, in water for a few days. Finally, when the fish no longer thinks its remains can be further mistreated, you put it into a bath of lye dissolved in water. The end process sees you with a swollen mess of a fish that's got a pH of 11 to 12, which is lethal. To make the damn thing edible you need to soak it in water for over a week. This is, incredibly enough, considered a delicacy and is something many try to foist upon poor, unsuspecting, tourists. Me? I think the fish has been through enough, no need to make it a participant in crimes against humanity as well. Boiled silkworms. Tried them in Cambodia, and from the name you'd expect them to be not great, but I was unprepared for how incredibly awful it was. Brains of any kind. Not today, prions. I ate raw ballot in a Fear Factor contest my cousin's wife put on for his 40th birthday. There was a big contest and treasure hunt involving all these things we had to do that were gross, like dig a key out of jello with boiled chicken feet in it, and do it only with your mouth. I thought I could eat anything. I'm not picky. Just set your mind to it and crunch down and you can do it. My god. This raw goopy, slimy, blood and guts and feathers and brain-filled shell I bit into was way more than I had bargained for. I'm competitive and really wanted to win, so in my head I coached myself through it. I was telling myself, just crunch down, just do it. So I started crunching down, and I started gagging. The guy beside me couldn't do it. He saw me and started gagging himself. Then he started heaving. Then his little son, who had been cheering him on from the start, started to cry. Then he started outright wailing. I kept going. I chomped and crunched and then just opened my throat and gulped that fucker down. I still have nightmares of the texture and the squishing blood and crunching bones in my mouth. I did, however, win the $50 and the plastic trophy. And I will not be eating raw ballot again for the rest of my life. Edit, not that it makes any difference. But I am a woman. My husband would not eat it, not only that, but he also refused to kiss me for the rest of the night afterwards. Eyes, brains, and genitals. Sure, it's arbitrary, but that's my line. I'm down to at least try eating anything else. Tarantulas. As an arachnophobe, I cannot eat that. Also, there is some kind of Filipino food that is literally just an underdeveloped duck fetus/embryo thing straight out the egg, which is another I will never eat. Those half-developed birds in the egg. Pickled pig's feet. There's only a tiny bit of actual meat in there. No way. Bitter melon. I don't care if it's good for you. It sucks. I just don't like organs. The texture of most organ meat is terrible. Ballot, durian, century eggs, fried spiders, etc. Have tried the first three and hated them, refused to try spiders. Nope. I can get behind grapefruit. To shove it off a cliff. Organ meat of any kind. Outside of that I will eat almost anything. I have tried several kinds prepared different ways. Just not my thing. Edit and update. I think some of you have changed my mind with the suggestions and recipes. Some of them sound like I may really like them. I'm not eating brains, and chitlins are gross. And I've only had beef tongue once and it was too chewy. Ate too much liver when pregnant to supplement my iron, so that's out. But I'll give some of this stuff a try. Thanks. Olives. I retry them every so often to make sure. I nearly vomit every time. I've eaten various bugs, organs, fermented things, and beyond, but fucking olives, man, can't do it. What is unbearable at 100% but at 65% is awesome. Vanilla extract. How much of your capacity is used at work? You want enough to be engaged, have a sense of accomplishment, and have surge capacity for busy times. 65% is easy. 100% you're utterly overwhelmed. Your progress reading a really, really good book. A bar, 100% capacity equals too loud and can't move. CPU temps. How full your stomach is. Submersion in a hot tub. That one friend. You know the one. We all have one. The brightness in every video game when they ask me to adjust the brightness. Toastedness of toast. Solitude. Edit. A lot of people seem to think I'm talking about Skyrim. As much as I love that game, this is not the case. Muscle pain after gym workout. Movie theater audience. The incline of the mountain you're skiing down. Game of Thrones.